Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about Gnostic spirituality. In this video, God has guided me to talk a little bit more about the topic yesterday, specifically about these death attacks which come by technology, medical treatment, sorcery, all meshed together. Yeah, I've been talking about death attacks individually by different means, but this is a specific type of attack which meshes together all of these different instruments. Yeah, I explained in the previous videos that this was created during Nazi time or perfected as a technique during Nazi time in which different groups come together. And we're talking about Masonry, Illuminati, church, convents, gypsy practices, Muslim practices, African voodoo type practices, and all sorts of witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, medical treatment, technology, and all others. Now, in addition to, so in this video, I'm not going to pick up on the same. I will just add more information to what I said in the previous video, and specifically about ways to get through it, to tackle all of this, yeah, and to get victorious on the other side, alive, yeah. So I'm just gonna go into it. I'm not gonna start again to explain the context. I'm just gonna start giving examples how you get through it, in addition to what I said yesterday already. Yeah. Okay, let's start. One thing is you need to stay indoors. Remember that all of these attacks come by air. The air is infused with all of these attacks. And the bad thing is that, as opposed to sorcery, necromancy, and so on, the technology has the power has the function to control the intensity of the attack. The attack can be extremely strong when the technology is being involved, and it can literally take you down instantly. It can unalive you instantly, numb your energy awareness completely instantly. So anything that usually is done by sorcery, when it's paired up with technology, then the effect, first of all, it comes instant. And second, God is showing to me, second thing is that sorcery, necromancy, and witchcraft play by rules of astral, which means that as long as you're innocent, you still preserve some divine protection, you still preserve some awareness, yeah. When technology is involved, the technology is just manipulated by crazy individuals, and the technology doesn't know about rules of astral. This is the uh, dangerous part of artificial intelligence nowadays and creation of robots and all of that. Yeah, because it doesn't have a boundary, astral rules of justice and innocence and so on. Yeah. Okay. So it's important to stay indoors. Remember this. It's very important to stay indoors. That you need to cover yourself. I said this. Cover your head and your ears, because a lot it's done on tympans by levitation, incantation, and your third eye, because that's where the holograms are being projected. So you need to cover it. But when you will go through it, the air will be so painful, big, and you will know it. You will feel the need to cover yourself. I'm just saying it because it's part of the process. Now, remember, timelines and bondages get activated um, instantly by that voodoo doll of energy which I was talking about. So the technology has the ability to connect to you and to people around you, uh, different embodiments, by connecting this voodoo doll of energies, which I described yesterday as being like a feeding tray for individuals who are connected to it. So they will connect that to you like in an instant. Again, technology works differently than usual dark arts. Um, a precedent of death on that embodiment which is put on you exists already. You remember that happened during Nazi time. It was war. It was a lot of harm being done, tortures, experiments, and so on. So when they hook that on you, understand that you're in a great danger. This is why you need to stay indoors and preserve um, awareness and protection. It's also protection for yourself, for your energy. Yeah, this is very important. Remember that uh, once a precedent was created of death on that embodiment which they put on you, um, you need to understand that those entities connected to that situation have tremendous power, and it's being recreated much easily, much easier than normally. So it's not anymore just your power against the power of the entity. The entity has already a precedent created, and basically, since the voodoo doll of that precedent is binded to you, your normal power it's blocked by that. Yeah, so it's very dangerous. It's extremely important that you stay indoors. Yeah, it's ideal to keep moving, to avoid staying in the same energy, and particularly in the same area where technology is being targeted at you. It's very important. One way to do this ideally is driving, because you move and you change energy around you. If technology is targeting you, you get out of the area. That's important. But also, driving in itself, it's very important tool in cleansing in this phase. Why? Because driving, it requires you to focus. It requires you to have distributive attention, which helps you see different type of attachments of different types of chakras. I don't know how to explain this better than this, but you should try it yourself, and you will see. I have seen this with my own experience. It helped a lot to see many of the attacks which I didn't see when I was staying in one place. I could understand so much more about this phase of attack by driving. I learned much of this during the last spiritual journey when I drove thousands of kilometers from the whole Europe. Basically, you look on my Facebook and you will see that I checked in different places, and you will see 22 countries that I drove through. And most times, God wouldn't let me stop at all, wouldn't let me get out of the car, because again, stay indoors, don't get outdoors. Yeah, don't open the windows, because again, the air is coming in. And I drove like many times, 24 hours a day, and I would ask permission from God to stop for one cigarette so I can relax for one cigarette. So that was like less than 5 minutes. Then I needed to move forward. Yeah. So you need to stay awake. If you stop, if you start driving and then you stop, all entities that you cleared from your energy and you left behind and are looking for you to hook up again will catch up with you. So it's important to stay in your car with windows closed, and don't use technology, don't use GPS, don't use, because that helps. Internet, of course, don't use, because that helps them connect to you, the technology. So the entities will catch up with you and will body jump everybody around you. Keep this in mind. If you have to stop, because sometimes police stops you, you need to stop, you cannot, um, or sometimes you need to eat at some point, and if you stop, please keep this in mind. The entities will catch up with you and will try to body jump you, and will definitely body jump people around you, whoever is around you. Yeah, so be aware of that when you deal with the individuals around you. um, going through Going to or through mountain area is important. I learned this again during my last spiritual journey. It was huge surprise to me, and then I learned then that basically all the forest on the mountain, literally what it does, it clears the um, lower level of aura of the earth. So literally what that means, it clears your aura around your nervous system completely without you doing anything. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I was like, why the fuck you didn't tell me before? I would have moved in the mountains if I knew. So it's a huge healing. It's a huge healing to drive through mountain area. Of course, in mountain area, you don't have some type of technology and all sorts of uh, practices which are done in the cities on people. Yeah, you don't have the same pollution. You don't have the same sources of darkness which you have in the city area. It's a huge healing. Please believe me and try it. If you go through this phase, go through mountain area and you will see. Okay. Again, part of it, it's important in this phase to do um, soul healing. Soul healing can be done in different ways. One way, which I refer to now, is a type of healing which only can take place when you are in the same place, area, with another individual from soul family. So when you do this, you don't need to talk to that individual. You don't need to even see each other. Just being in the same place, the soul energy connects and you get healing. Let me show you like this. It's like your soul is an energy ball, the other soul is another energy ball. When you are in the same area, the two energy balls connect, and it creates a big um, field of energy of the same type, which literally heals both of you. Again, without even talking, I experienced this in my last spiritual journey in Hungary. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. There was, in a specific area where God guided me to drive, uh, God showed me, because I didn't meet the individual, but God showed me. I felt the healing, and God showed me, because in this area, it's your father figure, your Hungarian father figure. And there was an individual in that area whom, again, I didn't even see. I didn't meet. I didn't see him. But just being in the same area, huge soul healing took place. And I asked God, can I do this type of healing on my own? No, that kind of healing cannot be done. This is why on your own, you cannot do it on your own by energy work. You cannot achieve that by energy work. I personally said this in another video, have the gift of healing, soul healing by prayer to Jesus, by invocation. But literally, Jesus does the healing. But this is my gift that I came here with. So I can do this, but I have the gift of prayer and the invocation of Jesus, but it's Jesus who does the healing. Yeah. So but that's not everybody has this gift, obviously. So this is why I'm saying this kind of soul healing cannot be done on your own, but it's it can be done if you're in the same area with somebody from a soul family. And this is why it's important at some point when you go through this, you will be guided to move, to leave where you are and go in an area where people from your soul family are. Again, even if you don't talk to them, even if you don't necessarily speak to each other, see each other, God will make sure that you go to the same area in such a way so you both get the healing. This is what happened to me in Hungary. It was the first time, actually, I'm not sure. Maybe I was on a delegation in Hungary, but I didn't know Hungary. I don't speak Hungarian. God guided me where to drive, and He said, park here the car. And there, He said, get out of the car, walk lucky around. And I felt the healing. Huge, huge, the most tremendous one. I was bewildered. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, when you go through this, the body energy heals. So for example, when Lucky was attacked for death, I hold him in my arms, my keeping him close to my body because we have same energy, then keeping him close to my body, then that heals his aura. Remember, dogs sleep curled up with each other. This is a healing they do. Again, like I said before, people are very worrisome to teach animals, but they're not attentive enough to learn from animals. God has shown to me this is a healing they do, and this is how you heal through this death um, time attack. It heals the aura, and this can keep you or the animal alive during a death attack. This is extremely important. I lost a dog during my first spiritual journey because I didn't know this. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't understand that holding in my arms I was even driving the car at the time. I didn't know. But later on, I learned during my first spiritual journey, and I did talk about it. Okay, so again, body energy, but of course, be worrisome who you hug. And it has to be a pure hug. So if you infuse that with like sexual energy or stuff like this, then that's not healing. But again, it has to be somebody who actually has good intentions and good energy, clear energy. They don't come the wrong way to you. Yeah. So this is another type of healing that you can do during this time of death attacks. Yeah, holding close somebody or I would recommend a pet. Yeah, a dog if you have, or if you don't have, you should get one if you know how to treat him. And the soul healing, these are important. Then moving on, God guided me to go a little bit more in details to make sure that everybody understood the energy work of healing for these attacks. Again, the two meridians of your on your back and the vagus nerve are being used. You clear that by pushing energy upwards, and when you get to the neck area, to the nervous system, you push that energy towards your third eye. Again, from the lower back, up, then it's a diagonal. Yeah, it's a diagonal from your lower back of your head up to your third eye. That's a diagonal, and that's you push it out through your third eye. Okay, this is why I came back to this, because I didn't explain it properly. Then on your front body, the front of your body, you push energy up from solar plexus to heart chakra to third eye, going through ajna, and remember throat chakra. So you up to your third eye, and from your third eye again on diagonal or perpendicular, whatever you want to call it, backwards to the pineal gland. Okay, so you push the energy from front to the back and from back to the front, but only when you get up to upper level of your body. Okay, this is very important, and you need to exercise this so you can do it right. Okay, the tympans, because of the levitation, incantation, and gang stalking and jar magic. Jar magic is done by pairing up technology and gang stalking, slander, levitation, incantations by groups. Different groups of people establish a time and a certain incantation to say all together. This is gang stalking, or something to do all together. Even sex magic is done like this. They establish a time, even sometimes they come together in the same room and they do the same type of attack. This is gang stalking, getting more people to do the same type of attack at the same time on you. Many times they mind program other people to contribute to the gang stalking by planting ideas in their minds or emotions towards you, planting hate towards you, envy towards you, thoughts that she's not worthy, that she must die, that she must leave, she must stay, she must not have money, she must not have job, she must whatever. They plant ideas in their head that she's dying. In this death phase attack, they use a lot this type of pairing, like gang stalking created on you to die. people saying that you will die, you look sick, you should die, you will die soon. Maybe you are already dead. I'm not kidding. So they plant idea in people's mind. Unfortunately, people are very used with slandering and gossiping, and so this is helping these individuals a lot. And they use the energy of all those individuals in their gang stalking attack. And again, those who practice this professionally, they come together a certain time, or even if they stay in their own houses, they establish a time when they do exactly same attack, the same thing, and they pair it up with technology that already makes a huge impact on you. And this is how jar magic is being done. I'm saying this because I learned it yesterday. That means it's like you're a bee caught in a jar. You don't, it numbs your energy awareness. When you notice this is happening, you need to do something to cleanse your energy urgently. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on it. Yeah, because during this jar magic done on you, they can plant a lot because you're not aware. They can plant a lot in your mind and emotions. They do a lot of programming through that. Yeah. Okay, so there's still a lot I need to say. So, but this phone can only do 33 minutes per video. It cuts off afterwards. So I'm gonna say one more thing before I get to 33 minutes. God asked me to specifically emphasize the fact that this type of attack, which I'm talking about for the last few videos, which aims to unalive and kill you, ultimately, remember that they actually desire to kill you. For them, it's easier if you're dead because they use the remains of your body and your spirit. If they get to kill you and keep the spirit trapped, they can use that spirit and they aim to take that spirit within them. So these doppelgangers, this is their theory, to kill you. The doppelganger living next to me before was doing this. She was like, I need to kill her, me, I mean, to take her spirit in. Then everybody will see me like I'm her. They're crazy. You see, this is the theory. So they use the remains of your body in idolatry, worshipping, and all sorts of witchcraft. And they seek to take your spirit within them so they will be seen like you. So this is no kidding. This is very serious. When you got to this point, you need to understand that you elevated too much and they aim to kill you. This is when the hitmen come around you. Because at this point, already karma has been enacted on some individual, is been already delivered. The dark forces being used are already at culmination. So everything, it becomes very intense at this phase. Yeah. Again, you elevated a lot for their taste in this phase. And literally they see you as a threat. And they view you, as I said in a previous video, like their pot of gold, because many of these countries, again, have political leaders which do not have divine rights to lead. And the borders we know in our lifetimes have been created, statehood has been created this way, by stealing your divine rights for leadership. Hence, for them, it's very legitimate to kill you. Many of them have told me that it's about a national project, it's about national security. So it's just very legitimate to kill me. I don't matter. You need to understand that they felt very entitled to do any harm on me, even to kill me, because it's about national security. It's about, what do you mean? No, it's about the security of a territory which you call it national, but it's illegally created against the will of God and without rights, by doing harm unto people and stealing from them divine rights. This is how you created this territory. It's not a national security matter. It's a matter of your security, because you have done this harm and you have served this harm for a long time. So you need to take this very seriously. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. You need to take it very seriously, because they are taking it seriously and they are adamant and killing you when they get to this point. And the dark forces come to collect. So somebody's got to die. This is why you have the pandemics, and many times you have heard many influential people, even businessmen, saying on TV that this much of population must die. This is why, because they have done sacrifice rituals on individuals whom were innocent. The individuals didn't die because were innocent and helped by God, and then the dark forces come to collect. So then they set free some biological agent, COVID, to kill a lot of people to feed those forces. Because if they don't feed those forces, it will be them who die, because it's their karma, it's their fault. They created it. Yeah. So I'm trying to tell you, this is very serious. And by the way, if you search, you will see that COVID it's essentially based on a biological agents called SARS. And if you go in history and check military history, particularly, you will see that Nazi regime used this biological agent. Yeah, so it's not by coincidence that in 2020 we got COVID. It was part of this type of phase of evolution and things. Before I close this video and make another one for the rest of the topics, the one thing that God wanted me to say is that for you who are going through this is a graduation test. Literally, this is ascension for you. When you go through this is a graduation in your ascension process. The ascension has multiple levels, but this is a graduation. It means you graduated from breaking bondage. And that's very important from many ways. That's for you to understand how far you've went with your spiritual fighting, but also for you physically. You need to understand that it's very deep type of healing. This is why they try to kill you, because this is a DNA purification. This is when God takes you to your original blueprint. And all of these embodiments and bondages are cleared from your DNA. And you come back to your DNA as original blueprint created by God. This is a cellular cleansing. You need to understand that the healing goes to the cellular level. It's very important. This, by the way, is the way how you heal cancer, which cancer is being created by darkness, all this darkness being sent for death on you, for disease on you, for medical treatments on you. I was diagnosed in 2014 with a tumor, and they were adamant in doing surgery on me. And I had divine guidance, and I felt very strongly. And even at the time I was still going to church, and even the priest that I was confessing to agreed with me. He also said the same: don't do this surgery, this is not good for you. But I had divine guidance as well, and I went to many specialists. I spent so much money. This is why I had actually to sell in the city and move here, because they were extremely pushy in convincing me to do surgery. But then that was only because that was the way they wanted to use to unalive me. I learned later that it was part of their strategy to unalive me, because I was already way ahead with the spiritual evolution, although I was not aware of the spiritual fighting I was doing. I was just doing it naturally, instinctively. I was receiving divine guidance, but God wasn't revealing to me, or He was revealing to me, but I was not taking seriously many things, Anyhow, so this is important to understand, that this is a purification which heals physical disease, which literally has been created by darkness and imposed on you by darkness. So when you go through this is also why This is centuries of healing which you do. Through the healing on yourself, you automatically heal your ancestors who died and have been imprisoned in spirit realm, trapped by these creeps who are using them to do darkness on you. So you're doing centuries of healing when you get to this phase of graduation. This is why they are extremely determined to kill you. This is why they are so aggressive in this phase. Yeah, they again use a lot of technology in this, and they aim to isolate you. This is how I got to move to Chernica. This is how they tricked me to move to where I am here, where they came then and surrounded me and used technology ever since I moved here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here because this video will stop soon, but the phone can only take 33 minutes per video. I still have some explanation, guidance, examples to give, so I will make another video. This is the second video on death. I will close this up and I will make another video, the third one, with continuation, other recommendations which need to be taken in consideration so you can go through this phase of graduation, yeah, through these death attacks on you, okay?